It's always best to learn with an instructor or friend. If you know an experienced windsurfer, consider having him or her coach you while standing on the back of your WindGlider. This is especially helpful for teaching children. Beginners are most confused by the difference between tilting the sail and angling it. Tilting the sail steers the board, while angling the sail accelerates it. If the board isn't steering the way you want it to, chances are good you're mixing up tilt and angle. If you have trouble standing on the board, kneel or sit just behind the mast. If you're out of control and the board turns too much, use small movements of the sail to steer. It could also be that you're trying to learn in too much wind. If you're stranded a short distance from the beach in wind too light to power you back, you can lay the rig down on the back of the deck of the board, lie your body on the front of the board, and paddle in. A few more points about self-rescue. If the wind is strong, you won't be able to paddle against it. Instead, head for the nearest land that lies in a somewhat downwind direction. Never leave the board. It provides visibility and flotation. If your primary air chambers should be punctured, you can inflate the emergency air chamber by blowing air into the small valve on the deck. You should signal for assistance when you doubt your ability to get back to shore. That may occur when winds are too strong for you to sail or rescue yourself and you're cold or tired or injured. You should signal by waving your arms up and down at your sides, above your shoulders and below your waist. This is the international distress signal that indicates, "I need assistance." When you're finished sailing, with your back to the wind, drag the board up by the rope on the tail, holding the mast with your other hand. Be sure not to drag the WindGlider over sharp objects, as you may puncture it. Rinse off the board and sail with fresh water if possible. For easy storage, take the batten out of the top of the sail. Untie the back of the sail from the back of the boom and slide the batten into the sail along the mast. You end up with a neat package that's easy to assemble for your next outing. For long-term storage, you can take the mast out completely, disassemble it, and roll the sail. To deflate the board, open the valve covers, insert a straw or thin screwdriver into the small valve so as to prop open the baffle. Press the air out of the board from the nose and continue folding, pushing the air out until the board is flat and ready for storage. The WindGlider can also be used with sails designed especially for children. The same mast and boom can be used for the 1.2-meter Pluto, the 1.7-meter Mickey, and the 2.2-meter Goofy, or the 2.7-meter Donald. Just adjust the mast and boom to the correct lengths, and you can have children as young as 5 years old use the WindGlider. The Power Glide option is a heavy-duty nylon cover that goes over the WindGlider and transforms the WindGlider into a towable that can even be used behind a small dinghy or personal watercraft. The Power Glide cover works well as a protective cover for areas with sharp rocks or for rental and resort operations. The kayak option turns the WindGlider into a sit-on-top kayak that won't turn over. Just attach the seat to the molded fittings and snap the paddle blades onto the mast top section. WindGlider is brought to you by Mistral, the worldwide leader in windsurfing. For more information on other Mistral products, see our website at www.windglider.com. The WindGlider is intended for fun, recreational use. However, use of this product and participation of this sport involves the risk of personal injury or death. This risk can be reduced when the following procedures are observed. It's the owner's responsibility to carefully read the owner's manual and instruct all users in the safe operation of this product. All maritime laws apply while operating the WindGlider, as well as all local and federal laws. Always wear a U.S. Coast Guard approved life preserver. The WindGlider is not intended as a personal flotation device. The WindGlider is not for use for children under 5 years of age. Children over the age of 5 must use it only under adult supervision. Always be aware of other watercraft and swimmers. Do not use in conditions that exceed the skill and capabilities of the sailor. Never use in offshore winds. Do not use in rivers with whitewater. Know and be aware of wind, weather, and tide conditions whenever you use the WindGlider. Do not use while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Always wear a wetsuit to protect yourself against hypothermia. Wind gliding is the simplest form of windsurfing and a great introduction into the world's best sport. Sail safe and have fun.